I've come across for a very long time. So good morning, Charlotte. Thank you for sitting in the waiting room patiently, impatiently. I don't know how you were, but let's kick off with saying a very warm welcome, Charlotte, and let's start by asking who are you, what do you do, and why do you do it?
Hi, Ammar. Thank you so much for having me on. I was sitting patiently, but yeah, really interesting the things that you were talking about. So I am Charlotte Nichols. I have a PR agency called Harvey and Hugo, named after my two border terriers. It's been running now for 15 years. The agency has outlived poor Harvey. Hugo's 16 now, and he's still teetering about, doing okay. We offer services to help amplify your voice and to get your messages heard, which is really relevant to the topic that you were talking about at the minute. We believe everyone's voice should be heard within reason, as long as no harm's caused. And we do kind of traditional PR, digital PR, social media, content marketing, video, podcasting to help our clients share their voice.
Amazing.
Hmm. And what about you, Charlotte? I mean, I'm one of your biggest fans. I think I might be your biggest fan actually.
Oh, I love
Um,
it.
and because you're just a really nice person, and I think that comes across through your business ethics, and I know certainly that Jaff would want to have a conversation with you on some of his projects after this call, no doubt. But tell us a little bit about you. What got you into PR? Why did you choose that? And what makes Harvey and Hugo special?
Well, it's a really interesting question because, sometimes you set up businesses and you don't really dig too much into the why at the time. It's just like, because I'm doing it and I love it and I think I could maybe do better on my own. But I did a lot of that soul searching and digging. Last year I turned 40, so it was a big birthday and it made me question all sorts of things about my life. And one of them was like, why do I do what I do? Why am I so passionate about that? And I think it was because I was so painfully shy growing up. I always knew what I wanted to say, but I just couldn't get the words out. And I think having shared that experience now, a lot of people feel the same. Unfortunately, I don't have that problem now, which sometimes I have the opposite. I wish I could hold my tongue a little bit. But and I think it's that knowing how painful it is to want to say something, but either not sure how, not sure which way is the best way to say it. It means that I chose a business in PR, which is all about sharing people's messages, communicating. And I think it is such a tragedy if someone has something to say, again, in a nice and harmless way, as long as it's not, anything that's going on that you've talked about so far, any of the violence. It's I think it's important for people to do that. It's a very cathartic experience. And I think by bottling up that sometimes it stops people from being who they want to be.
Wonderful. Charlotte, you don't know Jaff, do you?
I don't.
Okay. Jaff, do you want to say who you are as well? Because actually,
Oh,
I don't even know if
not
our
really.
listeners know who you are. But given the fact that you've been here for 15 years doing this show, but
Oh, Charlotte, are you based in Newcastle?
I'm in Darlington. So
In
keep that
Darlington.
against me.
Okay. And the scope of the type of clients that you have, do they spread around the area that you reside, or?
Everywhere. The majority around the Northeast. But we do have clients throughout the whole of the UK, and we even have some international clients as well.
Oh, amazing. And is it just yourself, or do you have a small team that works with you?
I have a small team. There's about 8 others of us, and we've got specialists in kind of all the areas that we work in. So we've got Ian, who's our wonderful PR manager, really experienced, being kind of like chief editor at various publications. We've got Shannon, who's a video, graphics, and social media, Charles in social media, digital, and then the team of relationship managers, business development.
Amazing. And has that team just grown over the years, just based on the needs of your business and the different sections or different departments or areas that you feel you needed to recruit within?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's something that a lot of businesses face sometimes. We started off purely PR. This is back, 2009, where there wasn't, social media was just starting out in terms of its business commercial use. We were quite quick off the mark in terms of that. We embraced that as a PR tool because we believe PR is all about building trust and credibility. And then, as video became popular, we hired someone in on that as well. You do sometimes question, should I just purely stick to the traditional form of PR? But I think we had to embrace it. And certainly within my capabilities, I couldn't do that without bringing on board experts. So it's grown, for being around 15 years, we have been a slightly bigger team in the past, but it's about finding the right people, as I'm sure you've got to have the right quality. And yeah, it's been a tough couple of years out there in the agency world.
Yeah. So do you class yourself as a PR agency or a marketing agency? And does PR fall below marketing? So is marketing the big umbrella where PR falls within?
That's such a good question, Jeff, and it's argued all around the world all the time.
I would argue that. I would argue that.
So what we say, PR is an element of the marketing mix, the wider marketing mix. The PR element, we always say PR is the secret sauce that you add into a campaign to help boost your awareness. No one can do business with you if they don't know about you. They're not aware of your business, your products, your services. But then this is where PR comes in. No one will do business with you if you don't have that trust and credibility. So they can know about you, but if you don't have the trust and credibility, which PR adds to all the marketing activity, then they're not going to work with you. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Brilliant answers. I mean, we love marketing and the importance of marketing. I'm a restaurateur. We have restaurants in the city in Newcastle. And I think the marketing element of it is so important because, I mean, we launched a restaurant without spending a penny on marketing. And it was all just based on word of mouth and how good your content is and what the brand is all about, the look and feel and the presence that it holds and how it can then make an impact in the market. And we feel often really proud that if you can get all of the marketing correct, then it all speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's interesting what you said there about not spending a penny, because I think people sometimes hear that and they think, oh, well, I don't have to. But then you've just said that you did everything right. You've probably spent a lot of time, making sure everything was just right. And the power of social media these days, especially for restaurants, the leisure industry, is critical. And I'm sure you do all that right.
Yeah, I mean, we're always going to have gaps where we can develop and it's just a matter of resource and adding the right people for the areas that you need and things they move on so quickly. So you do need a videographer, you need a photographer, and obviously because we're just in-house, you develop connections with great people around your network and who fill particular roles and work towards creating that kind of content that you need to get out there. And it needs to be constant and consistent, because if it's not, then somebody else is going to be constant and consistent and
so right.
have more presence than what you have. So it's an ongoing battle, isn't it? So
you're so true. And so many people give up because they think, oh, I've tried marketing, I've sent a few stories out to the media, but it is that consistency which is critical, and that compounding effect of consistency over time. And you also mentioned relationships there. Relationships are a critical part to PR, and we help people develop those relationships, whether it's relationships with the media, relationships with their direct customers, relationship with any other stakeholder.
Yeah, brilliant.
I think all three of us are incredible advocates and appreciative of the importance of marketing. Charlotte, Jalf studied it. It was his bag, so he appreciates it and uses it quite well. But I've realized, and it's funny, for the last sort of 15, 20 years, we've been developing and delivering lots of programs and business support programs. And the one key bit of advice that I give to entrepreneurs and business owners in particular is go out and get the best support you can. So whether you can afford it or not, because the vast majority of time, people will go, all right, and I use my mum's analogy of, you know, we had property, and she'd always go, all right, well, I'm going to get someone, I'm going to pay them the cheapest. I want to get the cheapest person. Or actually, I could try and do this myself. And everybody watches a YouTube video, and everybody can, oh, well, I know how to do Facebook, and I know how to do that. But then you realize that by using cheap, it doesn't last very long, and the quality isn't great. Actually, it doesn't get the results that you need or want. So getting the best you can and using the best you're able to allows, A, you're getting good quality. B, the likelihood is you're only going to need that organization or individual or expert, and the return on investment a lot of the time, is far better than that constant cheap element. So Charlotte, talk us through some of your work. What's like the highlight? What's the biggest and the best thing? Without, I imagine you've done so many big and best things, but what stands out? What one or two things stand out?
Definitely, just to add to your point you made, yeah, it's definitely about quality, and it's, it's so important when it comes to your reputation. You can't afford to take any risks. You sometimes only get one chance to get it right. But AI at the minute, people are using that thinking that it's fine, and it's not. It's very clever tools, and it can help time efficiency, but it can't build relationships like humans can at the moment, which is critical to PR. So yes, that's important. And thanks for plugging outsourcing to professionals. We've worked on some amazing campaigns over the year. One of my favorite was with Gareth Bale when he was just starting out. We had a client called Kinesio tape, which was the tape that we see a lot of athletes these days wearing it. And he was one of the first. So we signed him up as an ambassador. We went down to, I'm a Newcastle fan, but we went down to Spurs Lodge, and I still found it very exciting. And yeah, I got to interview him, and we had a photographer there taking some shots for the advertising campaign, met quite a few of the other players there as well. And it was just, it's just interesting with PR. You just never know what type of client you're going to work with. Yes, we all have niches, and that kind of was one of ours purely because from a passion for enjoying sport and football. Other campaigns, right? This might sound quite mundane, but sometimes the best projects we work on are like mundane objects. For example, a container company, it's changed its name and everything now. But we developed this, it was called Mobile Mini at the time. It's not anymore, so I don't feel like I'm giving them a plug. And I wouldn't mind giving them a plug. But we developed this Mobile Mini Spotted campaign all around the UK, where people were sending in pictures of, boring containers, but it's like doing selfies in front of them, getting their dogs involved. And it was so much, it doesn't sound fun, I'm not doing it any justice, but it really was. And it got great results for customers and for Mobile Mini at the time. So we really enjoy, give us a mundane product, give us a mundane service. And by mundane, that's doing it disservice, because they're often critical services that are overlooked or critical products in our life. And we love bringing them to life, being as creative as possible, to help build that relationship with their customers, the media. But yeah, we've worked with international aviation companies, a lot in the finance sector, construction. We've got a really lovely septic tank business at the minute that we work with, which again, it sounds really dull and a bit boring, but it's about what it stands for, the values behind it. And with that, it's all about the environment. And so that's Premier Tech. We've got a Myco, a meat-free company. They're using vertical farms, growing mushrooms, to make plant-based burgers and sausages. Again, wonderful. So yeah, we really like the environmental ones where we can add loads of creativity.
Wonderful. That's great to hear. And I love the passion as well, Charlotte. That's, the authenticity. And just for Ofcom regulation rules, there's lots of other containers, there's lots of other mushrooms, there's lots of other fun guys. And actually, I was thinking about when you talked about mundane, because Jalf never laughs, right? So we could get a campaign going, can you get Jalf to laugh? And
he's laughing now.
Got a picture, and everyone can go into his restaurants and see if they can get him to laugh. And if they get him to laugh, I don't know. They get a carafe of wine. Anyway, I'm a
Would
poet,
you like a
and I
job,
didn't
Ammar?
know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've got too many actually.
That's a brilliant
But yeah,
comment. We
so
love rhyming.
yeah, I don't know. I love, yeah. Jaff and I used to body pop. He was in a different group, and I had my own lino. So then we rapped. Anyway, Charlotte, coming back to you. What gets you out of bed?
Usually my daughters. Yeah, in a literal sense, they're wanting to be up at sometimes 5 a.m. Although that said, I am an early bird. I love a good morning routine. So, for example, this morning I was up, just woke up naturally around 5 o'clock, went down, actually did a bit of mindfulness meditation, just kind of tried to still my mind, which is always, as you can tell, speaking to me, it's a very tough task. My mind's just racing all over the place all the time, but I'm really working on trying to still it, focus kind of on my overall life objectives. And actually it was an amazing bright red sunset. So I went onto the grass, did a bit of grounding, absorbed or released electrons. I'm probably doing that a disservice. You can tell I'm quite spiritual, but then also really corporate. And I find the two sometimes a total mismatch. One of my worlds is totally full on, fast paced, talking all the time, social media, loads of tech. And then having the two girls, that's so full on, amazing. You have to be present for that. And then I try and calm my mind as well. So did a little bit of yoga as well, herbal tea, a green juice. So I'm painting this picture of health, but then sometimes, tonight I might just eat chips. But yes, I've forgotten what you asked me.
That's all right.
Well,
That was what gets you out of bed.
Oh, so
Okay,
motive.
what's your why then?
Yeah, so
As
that
in now, what's your why?
yeah, I answered that very literally, but my why, it does go back to that, I think, of wanting to give people a voice, believing that people should be heard, because what people have to say could change the world for the better. Really kind of personally, I just want to fulfill my potential. I feel that we're given such amazing opportunity. I mean, the body that we're given, it can do incredible things, and I don't want to waste that. The minds that we're given, I don't want to waste that either. I want to fill it with knowledge. I want to explore everything it can do, and just live my life to the full, while also trying to achieve as much as I can, but also trying to rest, because that's important to achieving. It's hard.
No, I like it. I like it. And actually, that's probably one of my biggest gaps, I think, is that mindfulness element. Jeff,
Mhm.
how much do you spend doing mindfulness?
not as much as I should. Again, there's just too many things going on up there, so it's a matter of trying to find that time. But I do go regularly and train at the gym, and I guess that's the escapism where you do put yourself through the paces. And I'm beginning to learn and understand that if you put yourself through a certain level of physical endurance and get that out of the way in the morning, then you are better for the rest of the day. And I think that everyone needs to have a bit of that. So 100% that does help you become more energized. And then and as soon as that's done, then as soon as that's done, you've got home, had the shower, left. Then you begin to tackle the octopuses that attack you, and then get through the day far better.
It's true, isn't it? But for me, I find it so hard. Well, obviously the girls are my priority, and they're so demanding time-wise. But just work-wise, get up sometimes at 5 a.m. It's easy to just think, I'll tackle the octopuses now. I'll just quickly get on my laptop. But then you find that you never get off your laptop, and then you never find time for the gym or going for a walk or anything like that.
Yeah, I must admit, my routine was
I
getting up at
must,
5, doing an hour's bit of work. Jeff, you have to disappear.
because
No problem. Well, we've got Charlotte for a couple of minutes anyway, and then Alan's in the waiting room, it looks like. Before you go, Jeff, let's grimace at the screen even. Just big smiles. Beautiful. That went silent for our radio listeners, so I'm incredibly sorry. That was me taking a picture, so I apologize to our radio listeners. Charlotte, last minute, what does success look like? What's the future hold for you?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I definitely want to keep growing the business still. It's got, again, potential that I want to fulfill. But yeah, just being able to let go a little bit more, enjoy the journey, because there's always going to be the next thing that I want to achieve. And I just got to enjoy it and also embrace the messiness of it as well. I always just want things to be perfect and complete and finished and on to the next thing, but life's not like that. So I just want to embrace, live in the moment a little bit more and find happiness, as cheesy as that sounds.
Brilliant. Well, thank you ever so much. We'll be sharing this snippet on our LinkedIn, where we'll include links and things like that to follow up with you, Charlotte. Ofcom doesn't allow us to promote Harvey and Hugo, so I can't do that. Is what I can't do. But we'll share those links separately. Thank you ever so much. And actually, I'm going to get you back on and dive into a topic, because we like sharing advice and guidance. So maybe let's drill down into that PR and marketing conversation and share some insights and knowledge on a particular topic next time, if that's all right.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed being on.
Nice to meet you, Charlotte.
Thank
Really
you.
to meet you, Jeff.
Take care.
Good to see you, Ammar.
Bye.
Catch up with you soon.
All
Take
right.
care.
I'll see you tomorrow, Jeff. Take
All
care.
right.
Bye. Bye.